Hello used car drivers. Today we're going to be taking a look at a 2011 Toyota Camry SE with a little over 100,000 miles. I've always kind of been a fan of this body style, this generation of Toyota sedans. I think they look great, and if you think this car is 8, almost 9 years old, in fact it probably was manufactured in 2010. So you could say this car is 9 years old, but it still looks plenty current, plenty modern. It looks great. I don't know what it is about that little black sunroof rectangle up top, but I always love seeing that. Maybe it's because I love sunroofs. Yeah, I think this is a great design. Toyota really hit it out of the park with this one. I love that little subtle point that line comes to. You see it running down along the side of the body, and then how it kind of comes to a point or a hook or whatever you want to call it there. I really like that. Has relatively nice looking wheels, otherwise just regular 5 spokes, but I still think they look nice. Let's go ahead and jump into it here. So here's your key fob. Very standard key fob for Toyota at the time. Hit the camera there a little bit. Here's your driver's side door panel. Looks good. There's your driver's seat. There's a little bit of wear, as you can see here. Looks almost as though there's like 2 liners. There's this outside fabric and then another one in between the fabric and the foam. That one hasn't worn through, but the outside fabric has. Other than that, the interior's held up pretty well. Go ahead and open the sunroof here. Beautiful day out today. Let's look at the back seat before we get too much farther into it there. Alright, you can see it does have this one, looks like a burn of some kind right there. An odd spot for a cigarette burn, and this doesn't smell like a smoker's car, so I don't think that's what it is, but I may be wrong. You know, this is actually the first I'm noticing those what look like... no, they aren't vents. They are lights. I was going to say, it's an odd spot for vents. And they're somewhat odd-looking lights, too, with the, I don't know what you call it, the louvers or what have you on the inside there. Very nicely padded back armrest there, as well as a trunk pass-through for, you know, skis or 2x4s and such. Pretty standard back seat. Go ahead and open the trunk. Of course, there's a few different ways you can do that. One of which by holding the button on the key. And it does have a fairly sizable trunk. As well as... does this have a trailer hitch? No, it doesn't. That feels like the pin for a trailer hitch. So I'm going to take that inside. But... give you a good idea of what the 2011 Toyota Camry SE looks like after 154,000 miles. So far seems to be really holding up well. Actually, just earlier this week, I took this on about a 2-hour drive, and it did great. It really did. Let's go ahead and fire it up, show you what the gauges look like. Those are also common gauges for Toyota. So, starting over here, of course, you have power door lock and power window controls. Your power mirror is right there. Hidden down here, sort of hidden that is your traction control off switch. A lot of Toyotas have these little storage cubbies, what have you. Right here, it would be good for change. I don't know how well this is coming through, but it's actually sloped or rounded towards the front, so it makes scooping things out of it nice and easy. This side you just have the key, no other buttons or anything. This vehicle does come equipped with steering wheel audio controls, which I am a huge fan of. It looks like you do also have the option for you can connect your phone to it, but I believe you have to connect your phone via a USB cable, and I'll go over that in just a minute. Love steering wheel audio controls. I'm always changing stuff up, changing the station, the song, the volume. I don't know, bad at picking, I guess. But I like that because that keeps my hands on the steering wheel and my eyes on the road. I don't have to take them off to look over here and find what button I need. Your cruise control on a lot of Toyotas is this little switch right here. Push in to engage, hit again to cancel, and of course everything else set, which is also your slow, and then resume rather. Resume is up, or you can increase speed that way, and then you can cancel by pulling towards you. So you have two vents in the center, one for each of your forward, I guess, occupants. I almost said passengers, but the driver's not a passenger, is he? You do have a CD player in this, and this is where I'm saying that I believe you have to connect it via USB, because I don't see any buttons or any hints that it has Bluetooth. You do have the auxiliary right there, but I don't see anything else that's going to hint to it being Bluetooth capable. The climate controls are lovely. I absolutely adore the climate controls in this. You have each switch is kind of a little bit of a dual purpose switch there, because you can push the center or twist the outside dial. And I love dials because, as you can see, each setting is clearly identified and easy to see. You know, this isn't something where, like, I'm not a fan of a lot of vehicles. You have one single button to cycle through each direction of where the climate controls are going, and you have to hit this button over and over and over again till you get to the setting you want, and that really makes it to where you have to keep your eyes on your climate controls so you make sure you get what you want, as opposed to the road, or keep looking back or what have you. I think it's a danger. I think having your climate controls like this is the absolute best way to do it. Either that, or have fully automated climate controls, or some vehicles rather even have climate controls on the steering wheel. I like those as well. Down here is a nice little hidden cubby. It's pretty substantial in size, as you can see. You know, I can fit my whole hand in here. And then back there is the, if it's going to come through here. Come on. Hey, there we go. Back there is, you have a 12-volt plug, you have a USB plug, and an auxiliary plug. And I think that USB plug is where you're going to get your phone usage out of this vehicle here. Moving on, you've got your cup holders right there, hideaway cup holders. That's how those work right there, as well as another additional little storage thing here, and another 12-volt outlet. Go ahead and show you the center console storage area. Looks like you've got a little front compartment there for business cards. I quite like that. Just noticed that just now. And a reasonable bit of space. Up here, you do have the standard sunglasses holder, as well as your sunroof controls. Up, down, that's for tilt, and then there's your sliding controls next to that. And here is your visor. Standard function. It's got a little hook, it's got a little slidey thing for the mirror there. Handles on all four doors, including the driver door. That's a bigger issue than one would think. A lot of vehicles don't have the handle there on the driver's side, and for some drivers, especially elderly folks that need a lot of help, or disabled persons that need a lot of help getting into the vehicle, having that handle on the driver's side is very beneficial, as opposed to them having to grab onto the steering wheel or just whatever they can find. So I like that they've included that. And yeah, this has been a look at the 2011 Toyota Camry with 154,000 miles. Great little car. It drove great with that 2-hour trip through the mountains, nonetheless, that I took with it. I really enjoyed driving it. It was smooth running, smooth driving, pretty comfortable. Climate controls work great. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next vehicle.